Rob, do you have any thoughts on the redrawing of the electoral boundaries in BC? The last one, a lot of
we haven't got that yet.
Oh, you haven't got?
It's supposed to be out this week.
Okay.
Or later, or early next week. So when that comes out.
Because I saw something where like Kamloops, I think, is getting a, or whatever is Kamloops now, is getting a bit of your riding. I don't know if you're getting more urban, more suburban.
What I saw the first draft was that Revelstoke was going to go to Shuswap.
Okay.
So that's the northern part of the Kootenays.
Does Revelstoke like conservatives?
They all like it.
They all like conservatives.
Once I get the boundaries, I'll have a look at that.
Okay.
So I actually would, because I have so many people, I've got a big geographic
Yeah.
area, but I have so many people, so that it would take that off, but I would keep everything else. The rest
Okay.
of Kootenay Columbia.
I mean, I ask you because I know, like in that part of the country, there could be some NDP versus conservative sort of
There
thing.
is some of that there, but for like Revelstoke, who doesn't like Revelstoke?
Who doesn't like Revelstoke?
I love going to Revelstoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks. Hey, Mel, can I just ask you about the redrawing of the BC electoral districts? I was just asking about Morrison. I think a little bit of his riding is going to your riding, or I'm not sure.
Possibly, yes. There's some changes in the interior because of the population, so it looks like that may be where they put a new riding, but we'll wait to see next month when or I guess in the next couple of weeks, when the next draft of the redistribution comes out.
So I'm just curious, because especially in that part of BC, your part, if it's going to go not conservative, it's probably going to go NDP. Would your riding likely be more New Democrat, more conservative?
The numbers we looked at, it doesn't look like it's going to change too much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to represent any community that comes into my riding. It's big already, 3 times the size of Prince Edward Island. But it's always a pleasure to drive around that riding. It's so beautiful.
It is. And are people in BC happy with the extra seats? That's you're getting, what,
one additional seat in BC. Any extra representation from BC, I think, is a good thing. So, yeah.
That's great.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for stopping. Appreciate it. BC riding readjustment, electoral things. It was a bit of a mess, the last one, I think. I heard a lot of BC MPs say, like Kerry Beach's riding. It doesn't really make much sense. Anything happen at Abbotsford? I know Brad Viss is going to lose a bit of his riding, but have you got some thoughts about how the process is shaping up in BC?
I'm not sure that the current proposal fully reflects the communities of interest that the Commission is supposed to take into account. So I'll be making a presentation at the PROC committee to reflect those concerns, and we'll see where that takes us.
Okay, cool. And maybe for folks, I have some thoughts on this. Many Canadians might look to the U.S. system of redrawing things, and people think there's all sorts of problems with gerrymandering. Do you think that we have a problem with a partisan bent when we redraw these lines?
For the most part, I haven't seen the same problems that they have in the States with gerrymandering, so I'm not proposing any major changes to the process that we have. We have independent commissions that handle the redrawing of boundaries, and so far, I think for the most part, they've reflected even-handedness as they apply the rules.
Great, thank you.
All right?
Okay, good luck.
Alex, can I ask you about the new riding boundaries proposed for Ontario? I haven't looked at your neck of the woods, but anything changing from Sarnia all the way up to Tobermory? Do you get anything?
Well, there's lots of changes that were proposed in the initial distribution or plan that was put out in the fall, but from my understanding, Ontario hasn't come through with the final changes until I think we're getting it maybe in a week or two.
In a week, yeah.
There's relatively minor changes in my riding.
Okay.
Lose one municipality, gain 2. So
which are you losing? Just
Grey Highlands. So I know that municipality did send in a letter to the commission.
And that goes to Ben's riding, probably?
No, that goes over to Terry Vidal's riding and Terry Simcoe, because there's some major changes going on in Terry's neck of the woods, because he's one of the largest ridings in Ontario.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks very much.
Yep.
Quick thought about the redrawing of your riding. I just took a quick look at the map. I think Randy's getting a little chunk of yours. You're like, anyways, just
actually, yeah. There's a fairly big chunk of my riding going both to the PA riding and to the Battlefords Lloydminster riding.
okay.
So yeah, I have thoughts. My thoughts are going to probably be kept to myself for now as we work through the process. Okay. There's obviously a process in place, including some PROC committee hearings this week and whatever. So we'll work through the process and see where it lands.
On the process, a lot of Canadians might look to the way they do it in the U.S. We got gerrymandering problems. How do you feel about the process here?
I'll keep those comments to myself for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Paul-Hus, qu'est-ce que vous voulez savoir de M. Barton exactement?
C'est important de connaître vraiment la relation que M. Barton a avec M. Trudeau, comprendre pourquoi, à partir du moment que M. Trudeau est devenu premier ministre, que la compagnie McKinsey s'est vue recevoir énormément de contrats. Quels sont aussi, pourquoi, exemple en immigration, en défense, pour le contrôle de la frontière, est-ce que le gouvernement fédéral a fait affaire avec McKinsey? Pourquoi McKinsey est meilleur que les fonctionnaires de la fonction publique? C'est le genre de questions qu'on a besoin de comprendre.
Parce que pour vous, j'entendais M. Paul-Hus ce matin, c'est clair qu'il y a un lien d'amitié, c'est l'amitié entre les deux?
Bien, c'est ce qu'on comprend, c'est ce qu'on voit. C'est qu'à partir du moment où M. Trudeau est arrivé premier ministre, la relation avec M. Barton était déjà établie avant. Et là, tout d'un coup, McKinsey s'est ramassé avec d'énormes contrats du gouvernement fédéral. Et puis, en même temps, McKinsey a aussi beaucoup de questions à répondre par rapport à différentes implications à travers le monde. Il y a des dossiers qui ne sont pas clairs. Donc, c'est pour ça qu'on veut savoir vraiment quelle est la relation de M. Barton avec M. Trudeau. Merci.
Merci. Demandé au sujet des propos de M. Trudeau ce matin, on a noté un changement de ton. Est-ce que c'est ce que vous avez noté vous aussi concernant le dossier de Mme Elghawaby?
J'ai vu par vos résumés, je n'ai pas eu la chance de le voir au complet, mais ce qu'on pourrait comprendre, c'est que c'est un virage de 90 degrés. Et c'est un virage de 180 degrés qu'il doit faire. Alors, on voit que M. Trudeau a finalement changé de ton, ce qui était la chose à faire. L'arrogance dans sa laideur la plus extrême qu'on a vue hier était tout à fait indigeste pour quiconque respecte l'opinion contraire des gens. Et ça, c'est désolant. Alors, ce qu'on voit, c'est que M. Trudeau a dû se faire parler dans le casque, il était temps. Il a peut-être compris qu'en effet, on n'insulte pas la nation québécoise comme il l'a fait avec tellement d'arrogance hier. Cela dit, ça ne change pas la situation. Ça prend quelqu'un à cette fonction-là qui va être capable de faire des ponts, qui va être capable de rassembler, qui va être capable d'unir plutôt que de diviser. J'ai rien contre la madame en question. Elle a fait carrière en divisant, en étant bout de feu, en étant provocatrice. C'est pas ça dont on a besoin quand on veut unir les gens pour combattre l'islamophobie. Alors, M. Trudeau, à sa face même, a fait une grave erreur de jugement. C'est très lourd. Il n'y a personne qui est à l'abri d'une erreur. Moi, j'invite le premier ministre à revoir ses décisions et à nommer une autre personne. Il y a 38 millions de Canadiens. Pourquoi avoir choisi la mauvaise personne?
Mais là, quand il a dit ce matin, M. Trudeau, là, oui, c'est une activiste, elle a fait certains commentaires, mais il dit aussi qu'elle sera différente en tant que représentante.
Ben oui, non, je m'excuse, mais quand tu passes ta vie entière à penser, ta vie entière, quand on passe tous les écrits publics de façon aussi partisane, aussi agressive, aussi coup de feu comme style, on doit s'attendre à ce que madame ait exactement les mêmes réflexes. Sinon, elle serait contraire à elle-même. M. Trudeau n'a pas fait ses devoirs. C'est désolant d'avoir un premier ministre qui a choisi quelqu'un qui divise plutôt que d'unir. Là, aujourd'hui, il se rend compte qu'il est allé beaucoup trop loin. Il a fait un virage que moi, je dirais 90 degrés. Il doit faire le virage à 180. Et reconnaître qu'il a fait une erreur, personne n'est à l'abri d'une erreur, et choisir quelqu'un qui va unir plutôt que diviser. Écoutez,
vous ne voulez pas donner la chance aux coureurs. Contrairement à M. Blanchet, lui, va la rencontrer ce midi. Là. Vous, une rencontre, c'est hors de question.
Moi, j'étais là dimanche. J'étais là dimanche à la mosquée, comme j'ai assisté d'ailleurs aux 6 commémorations des 6 dernières années. M. Trudeau était là. Quand il m'a vu, en fait, quand on s'est croisés, tout de suite, il est venu me voir, il m'a serré la main chaleureusement, en disant « C'est important, Gérard, content que vous soyez là, c'est important qu'on soit ensemble unis contre le racisme. » Il avait parfaitement raison. Alors pourquoi dimanche on était unis pour contrer le racisme de façon positive et que là il nomme quelqu'un qui est exactement le contraire de ça, qui a divisé les gens? Alors moi ce que je dis au premier ministre, revenez à l'esprit qui vous animait dimanche soir quand on s'est croisés, qu'on s'est serré la main chaleureusement et envoyé un message clair à tout le Canada qu'on veut unir et non pas diviser.
En anglais aussi, M. Deltell, le virage. Could you tell us about the virage that you see?
Well, obviously what we have seen, and well, I want to be cautious because as I said to Mr. Fillon, I read your report, but I didn't see and I didn't listen carefully, but when you talk about Révolution tranquille and the fact that the religious impact of the Quebec, for the Quebec people, I think obviously it changed his mind, and that's the situation. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a 90-degree move. We have to be 180 degrees. As our leader said last Friday, no, it's not because the National Assembly voted yesterday the motion and the government said she has to resign. Last Friday, our leader, the official opposition of the House of Commons, said that she should have someone else, which is the right thing to do. And we have seen in the last days that the Prime Minister was stick on his gun about the fact that, yes, we do agree with 100%. Now, he switched it. Fine. I do recognize it, and I appreciate it. But this is just half of the road. We have to appoint someone who will unite instead of divide.
And what is your objection to Ms. Elghawaby? Can you spell out what it is about her?
Well, there is plenty of demonstration when she used harsh words, not only to Quebec nation, but also to police. Also, there's sometimes some anti-Semitism spirit behind her talk. When she made a link between the Bills 21 and the London tragedy, this is totally unacceptable. So this is why she was, in French we say good for someone, had a lot of fun to start a fire. That's not the kind of people we want to have as a job. The Prime Minister should appoint someone who will unite instead of having division like we have seen in the last weeks. So it's so sad because he missed a great opportunity. We are all united to fight this bad climate about racism, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia, and all of that. I've been at the mosque in Quebec last Sunday. I'm from Quebec City. I was very hurt by that tragedy 6 years ago. I attended six events in the last 6 years. It's part of my job, and it's part of my job. It's part of my heart. I mean, I'm very close to those people, and I'm still touched by this tragedy 6 years later. And I met the Prime Minister. He was there, and when he saw me, get to me and said, "God, good to see you here. We have to work together on that. We have to be united on that." I strongly agree with what the Prime Minister told me on Sunday. I wish he would have the same attitude and to recognize that he made a mistake, and you have to fix it by appointing someone who will unite instead of division.
Mr. Deltell, I wonder if I could ask you, I know Candice Bergen said today that she's stepping down this week as a member of Parliament. I just wonder if you could reflect on her interim leadership and the role she played in a very difficult time for the party.
Well, as you know, in June, Madame Bergen said publicly that she will not finish the mandate, so I will comment based on that public statement. I think that Candice, I will let Candice make all these announcements.
Okay, but can you reflect on her role as interim leader, generally?
I'm quite sure that I will have plenty of opportunity to ask her, to answer your question, but when it will be officially.
It'll be official in an hour. Okay.
Okay, well, if you know what will happen in future, can you give me the 649 number?
Absolutely, I can do. I believe it's 8. Yeah.
I'll take them too.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.